The Baltimore Children and Youth Fund is almost exclusively backed by taxpayer money, but operates as a nonprofit.
Patrick Huff from our Spotlight on Maryland team investigates how much the Youth Fund spent on consulting fees.
$10 million. That's about how much the Baltimore Children and Youth Fund spent on consulting since 2020. That's about $2 million per year. Now, we uncover this through documents obtained in a public information request. Here are some specific examples of who received these taxpayer dollars.
BCYF is guaranteed millions of Baltimore City taxpayer dollars each year to support grassroots organizations that provide programs for kids. Its latest tax form states it used about 60% of this tax money for grants to local charities, with the remaining 40% used for administrative costs. We identified consulting fees as a leading administrative expense for the organization. BCYF sent more than $200,000 to a group called Cheslock Consulting LLC, which is headed by Jen Cheslock. BCYF President Alicia Lee's social media includes photos of her with Cheslock dating back to 2017, years before BCYF hired Lee in 2022. BCYF paid Cheslock Consulting about $200,000 between 2023 and 2025. Two former BCYF employees told Spotlight on Maryland that Cheslock is a, quote, very close friend of Lee. BCYF sent about $400,000 in consulting fees to the Ritter Group LLC between 2020 and 2022. The company is headed by Kara Ritter, who held several positions at BCYF. She was listed as the VP of Finance and Administration of BCYF in 2022.
It really is about us being a community resource.
Testified to City Council in 2021 as BCYF's transition manager and was listed in the City Council document as the interim director of admin and operations of BCYF before it was established as a standalone nonprofit in 2020.
There's absolutely a potential conflict of interest.
That's Amanda Beck, a professor at Georgia State University who specializes in nonprofit accounting and reporting. She said BCYF needs to provide more information about its spending on administrative costs.
The city and the taxpayer is very much within their rights to demand a lot of accountability over where the other 40% of these grant dollars are being used.
A spokesman for BCYF told Spotlight on Maryland that its consulting fees are used for, quote, specialized assistance and expertise in various areas to help support our grantees and programs. The small budget for their assistance is on par with industry standards and is separate from the funds given to our grantees, he continued. The BCYF spokesman did not respond to the following questions about consulting contracts with Cheslock and Ritter. What services did Cheslock provide for BCYF through Cheslock Consulting? What exact time period did Ritter work for BCYF and what positions did she hold? Was there a conflict of interest in paying the Ritter Group? Laurie Styron is the CEO of Charity Watch, which advocates for nonprofit transparency. She said BCYF's consultant payments are an example of why taxpayer-funded nonprofits need to be especially careful about potential conflicts of interest.
Charities really need to avoid not just nepotism, but the appearance of nepotism, because you can really lose public trust when people see these kinds of transactions.
Spotlight on Maryland previously reported on how BCYF spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on trips for its employees and community leaders to Alabama, Missouri, and New Orleans, with specific expenses such as $3,600 for 3 yoga sessions and 1 short breathing exercise. Former Mayor Bernard Jack Young led efforts to launch BCYF nearly a decade ago. He said the organization appears to have lost focus.
How are they, reaching the community-based organization with the training that they need instead of going on trips to spas and all these other different things? That money could have been given to some of our football programs.
Now, it's entirely possible that BCYF's $10 million in consultant payments are completely legitimate. However, BCYF did not respond to our specific questions about the payments to Ritter and Cheslock. Cheslock did not respond to our questions about her services with BCYF. The Ritter Group does not appear to have a website or contact information. Our attempts to reach Ritter were unsuccessful. For Spotlight on Maryland, I'm Patrick Huff.